Hi folks, I'm Nathan with Two Guys in a Ride, and today we're out here at Alexandria, and we are here with John, and we're here with his beautiful boat, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. We're at the Legacy of the Lakes Classic Boat Museum Classic Boat Show, and we have a stunning boat behind us. So John, tell us what this is.
Yes, this is a 1929 custom designed John Hackert designed Belle Isle Boat Company built. John Hackert was one of the most foremost naval architects in America in the 20s and 30s, and Belle Isle Boat Company was a very prominent boat builder on the Detroit River on Jefferson Avenue in Detroit. Odd about this is John Hackert also owned the Hackert Boat Company.
Okay.
But whoever asked for him to design this boat wanted Belle Isle to build it in 1929.
When you got it, what kind of a shape was it in?
Well, the woodwork was started on it, but not finished. It came out of the very famous Tom Mittler collection.
Oh, okay.
And when he passed away, we were able to acquire it. And then Doug Morin of Morin Boat Works in Bay City, Michigan, completed the restoration on it. The description on it is a 33-foot Belle Isle built in 1929, powered by a Liberty aircraft engine built in 1917 of approximately 450 horse, with a Dietrich top. And it is a one-off boat. Only one was ever built like this. Sometimes it's confused with the Super Belle Isle Bearcat, but this is not a Super Bearcat. This is a custom-designed Belle Isle boat designed by John Hackert.
Wow. This looks like it comes down.
The top does come down. It's a typical Dietrich top, fully functional. We left the top up because it's so distinctive and unique for the show, but the top can come down and be put up, and all done so in a very quick fashion.
When you got it, the woodwork was partly done. What else did you have to do with it?
Well, we finished the woodwork on it, and then we finished the work on the engine. We had a spare Liberty engine that we finished up because this boat was built originally with a Liberty engine. So Bill Drake of Drake Engines in New York finished that. The upholstery work needed to be completed. Obviously the varnish and all the interior detailing, the upholstery work, all of which was done under the direction or done by Doug Morin at Morin Boat Works in Bay City, Michigan.
Wow. So professionally restored, obviously.
Doug Morin is the dean of restoration people. I mean, there's a list of the best in the country. Tom Jewell here in Alexandria is one of them. Doug Morin in Bay City, Michigan is another one. Dan Nelson in Minneapolis is a great restoration guy. Kathy and Bo Mueller out in Lake Sunapee, New Hampshire do a lot of work for me as well.
Wow. Now, it is on the inside there, it's designed for what, 6 passengers?
Well, it probably really comfortable 6 passengers, but you could probably get 8 in the first 2 seats and 2 in the mother-in-law's compartment in the back.
Okay. And and they both have windshields. I mean, all 3 of them have windshields.
You know, that's the beauty of a custom design boat. The individual who had this boat designed had it the way he wanted it. It wasn't a production boat. And I will say that Belle Isle really did do a beautiful job on all their boats, whether it's a Super Bearcat or just a normal Bearcat or this custom-built boat. Their hardware was spectacular, and their design elements were spectacular as well.
Man, tell us the engine when it was just restored, right? It was just
in World War I, the Liberty aircraft engine was designed to be in a fighter plane. It was designed to be.
And that was fairly common on boats at that time to put an airplane engine in them.
And back in the early 20s, it was. When the war ended, there were about 12,000 surplus engines available, and then the boat builders and designers seized upon them because they were very lightweight but high horsepower.
Okay.
And so they were perfect for boats. Garwood used them repeatedly in his baby Gars, the famous baby Gars that they built. I think 64 of them, only 7 exist now. And other boat manufacturers did as well. Race teams used them, sometimes lining up 8 of them in a row or 4 of them in a row for race boats, depending on the length of the boats. So they were a very popular boat because, as I said, they were lightweight and high horsepower. They marinized them for marine use, and they were also, I suppose, to add to the list, cheap because the government was selling them as a surplus.
Right.
Fire in the hole.
so a one-off, obviously designed as a pleasure, a cruising craft. Man, what was the top speed you hit on this?
Well, I think the top speed on this would be in the high 40s, low 50s.
Okay,
it's
that's
not
pretty
something
fast.
not something we're pursuing right now
No.
because the engine is just getting broken in, and just the parts are so rare. And finding people who are capable of doing repairs or fixing them is very, very hard.
It is hard as well.
Right.
Yeah. So on the inside for gauges, what do you have?
Well, they've got a number of gauges. We've got a clock, we've got an amp meter, we've got an oil pressure, we've got a hot and cold, and that's about what you have in these type of boats.
Okay.
You want to know if your engine's overheated. You want to know if your battery's charging. I don't know that I really needed the clock very well, but it was designed for that. You have to remember this boat was not a production boat.
Right.
This boat was a custom-made boat on a custom order by a very wealthy guy, and hence the design, the width of it, the length of it, 33 feet.
How wide is it?
It's almost 7 feet.
Wow. Now, when you, I'm assuming that it's never intended for you to go from the second compartment to the third while you're in the water.
No,
you're kind of stuck in the third.
Yes, when you're in the mother-in-law's compartment there, you're kind of stuck there. But that's a favorite place for most people. It's really a spectacular view, and as you pointed out earlier, it has the windshield. It's a very dry boat because of the width of the boat and the hull design on it. We found it to be a very dry boat at speed even, and so and you'd expect it to be. I mean, somebody wasn't going to spend this kind of money in 1929 and not get a boat that was spectacular on all levels and dimensions.
Now the sheer size of this, when you look inside, just for leg room, and the bench room is huge. I haven't taken a look at the third row yet, but man.
Well, that's one of my favorites. It's big. And
you're a
it fits
tall
me.
guy.
Yeah, at 6'5", I'm very, very comfortable in it. I chat a little bit. The name Bunky is named after my father. He passed away 7 years. He was a big, strong, handsome guy, and this is just a big, strong-looking, handsome boat, and it's large. I mean, the compartments you sit in are large on all three levels and very comfortable. Seats are comfortable and plush, as you can see. But again, it wasn't a production boat. It was a custom-built boat, and it reflects it in the hardware, it reflects it in the engine, it reflects it in the upholstery work, and it reflects it in the instruments.
It's everywhere, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, how neat that you named it after your honor of your dad. That's just awesome. I think any dad would be pretty darn happy with that.
I agree.
So with a long hood in the front, is there any storage underneath there? Or?
Well, there's a compartment you can open up and put things. You can open it up. It's got some very fine hardware that allows you to pull the compartment out and store things up there, like light preservers and things of that nature.
Okay.
But a lot of storage alongside the engine as well. It's a very liberal engine space, which is nice, so you can move around. Even though the engine itself is a very large engine, it's not designed to be the typical Chris Craft boat where it has all kinds of extra space or fishing compartments or coolers or anything of that nature.
Well, John, thank you so much for sharing your time and this absolutely stunning one-of-a-kind boat with us. We sure appreciate it.
Well, I'm delighted to finally get an interview with two guys in a ride. I watch your stuff all the time, and so
well, thank you.
We'll invite you up to Brainerd to take a look at the rest of the cars and boats at Fort Mahogany.
Oh, we'd love that. Absolutely love that. Thanks for watching, folks.
Have a great day, folks.